Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Buenas. Siéntese.
Gracias.
Yeah, I guess that would bother me.
Oh, man. Or slurping their soup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I don't know what it is. It's just a little bother for me. It's a trivial bother, too, you know? In the last couple of weeks, I've kind of come to this. It's like, I need to fucking change, man. So tired of I let so many things, like, hold me down, you know? And it's a lot of just BS, you know?
I could see that. I think that's a lot for everybody. You know what I mean? That you get caught up in those.
You do, and then there's negative stuff, and then you end up being bitter, and you're a dick, and then you forget. The thing that really just floors me is how much I forget what matters when it comes to that. And this job has done that to me. Made me forget that my family is way more important. My wife is way more important than me coming home bitching about work.
Right.
And work is so bad that when I am home, I'm doing something else because I'm trying to run from all that shit.
Right.
I don't know, man. No job is going to be different than that unless you do something you love. And that's what I'm going for.
There you go.
I am not going to fuck around anymore at all. It's time to, you know.
The time has come.
You know what? They don't even have a Wikipedia article.
No, they don't. I couldn't find one either. I was waiting for you to be like, oh, I found it. So you'd say, like, share it with me or something because I didn't see that shit. IMDb's got some stuff.
Yeah, not much.
No, they got a little plot summary if you hit the link down there.
Yeah.
It's very small.
Okay.
Oh, no. They have no synopsis for this movie yet. We should write it.
Oh, my God. Why not?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, shit.
We done dropped that culture, bitches.
Basically, as Batwoman is called to investigate a whacked-out scientist. Okay. 10 seconds for Harambe.
There are now 5 known immolated victims of the mysterious assassin who up to date hasn't been caught.
I communicated with the person that can help us.
The Batwoman.
What did you find, Doctor?
They took secretions from his pineal gland.
And that means the murderer must be a medic.
Yes, he's an incredible surgeon.
We'll have to make another experiment to create our fishman.
When, Doctor?
Right now. As soon as possible. We need athletic men. Men with supreme physical prowess.
Tell Dr. Williams that everything is ready for this afternoon's operation.
Freeze!
Good. Attack warning. Is it for real? Attack warning is for bloody real.
Live from Colorado Springs, the Drop Culture Podcast.
Want to confirm, is this an exercise? Roger, copy. This is not an exercise.
Come on, quick, get down. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome, everybody, to the Drop Culture Podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm Brock.
And today we are going to get into some real drop culture here, Brock. We're going to talk about a little movie. I'm going to leave the actual name to you, but it's Batwoman from 1968.
The Batwoman,
The
1968.
Batwoman.
They refer to it as The Batwoman, 1968.
Yeah, the Watchman, yes.
Or La Mujer Murcielago.
Yes.
Which
is Spanish for the Batwoman.
Yeah.
Murcielago is Spanish for bat.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
So, mujer is a woman.
I guess. I don't know. My
my
Spanish is terrible.
Mine too.
I took French for 2 years, and then I took 1 year of Spanish, and then I lived in Cuba for 6 months. I know how to curse, and I can say cerveza and baño.
You know more than me.
Those are the 2 words you need when you're in Mexico.
The only thing that I know is "Donde es la zapateria?" Where's the shoe store?
That seems irrelevant, but maybe
Exactly,
not. Maybe
because-
not. Maybe you're in a situation where you're lost and you're like, all I really need is some shoes to move my life in the right direction.
Because it was on Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, true. That's right.
What
yeah.
is? That's the only thing I know.
All right then.
Señores y señores.
I will not curse on here because it's probably bad if, like,
Well,
but,
yeah.
But I can say, like,
I mean, we got a big following over in Brazil, but they speak Portuguese.
yeah, I was gonna say mixture, right?
And it kind of moves up the dial. I mean, we have more in Brazil, and it kind of slows down until you get to the
Mexico.
Yeah. So to all of our Mexican followers, gracias.
Yes,
Nice.
gracias.
So the Batwoman. Okay, this is
the Batwoman.
Yeah, so this is in no way, shape, or form, except for maybe just the name.
I disagree completely.
Okay.
You're saying that it's not associated with Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, 100% it is. Because she wears that stupid cowl and she wears that cape. And if you notice, the car she drives even kind of looks like the Batmobile.
It's a Thunderbird,
yeah,
man.
exactly.
A bitchin' car. I, until you told me about this a couple of months ago, I didn't even know it existed.
Until I told you about it a couple of months ago, I didn't know it existed. So,
well, I've never really watched a lot of Mexican cinema because the one reason is it's not accessible, 100%, but now it is.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't at one time. And for a lot of stuff that, I've tried to watch, unless it has subtitles, my Spanish isn't good enough to keep up.
No.
You
hear a couple of words, you're like, I know what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they've already moved on to another scene.
Biblioteca. Yeah.
Whoa. Igor. Oh, I know what that means. Luchador. But now, now that we have all this accessibility, it's much easier to watch that. But the one thing that I wish that they had, now this is something I wish I could invent.
Okay.
And I'm going to put this out there, a reverse SAP button.
Okay.
And what I mean by reverse, instead of just only being like Spanish language on the second channel, like they do on most TV shows, you actually you go to the Spanish channels and you can get English.
That would be cool.
That would be bitchin', right?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, why not? I would watch more Mexican telenovelas than probably I would need to.
I don't know that that'd be the same for me, but what I would want to watch a bunch of the obscure movies. Like, I wish they would have like a USA Up All Night, but Mexico Up All Night. And then I could watch it on the SAP channel and watch it in English.
Right.
And that would be legit. And I'll be honest, even if it was just with subtitles, I'll watch it. I don't care.
I know, right? Oh, well, a lot of...
I'll read it. I'm fine.
Yeah, Japanese movies and things like that, because I watch a lot of Kurosawa.
Sure.
Ooh, look at me. I'm fucking cool. No,
I think those are required watching.
Yeah. I was watching The Hidden Fortress the other day, and I was used to, reading whenever we started watching this, because those are about the only 2 things that I've really watched.
Okay.
Besides a couple of TV shows. I mean, honestly, it's a loose adaptation, but they put the woman in the role, which is different for Mexico because it's mainly luchadors,
right?
That are in the 70s, the 60s, and 70s, like Santo, because they had all of these masked wrestler comic books. Like everything revolves around wrestling,
right?
Where it did, probably still does.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still that vein of it.
Right, and it's pretty awesome. Those luchadors are pretty badass. Whenever you really watch them, I mean, it's an aerial thing.
Like Rey Mysterio?
Cooler than him.
Just kidding. That's the only, I remember him from like WWF back in the day.
Yeah, they have the drama, but it's way over the top.
Sure. I'm sure. Cool. Because I have watched some Spanish soap operas and, yeah.
Well,
they're very dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't know what's going on, the drama is real. You can feel it,
Well, a long time ago, whenever I helped start Dangerous Days, I was always looking for inspiration for posters and things like that. So I fell down this rabbit hole where I was looking at, Mexican or Spanish, Italian horror comics, things like that, right?
Okay.
Argento. So I thought, let me go through there. So I found all of this different crazy stuff, right? And there was one, it was Diabolique or something like that.
Yeah.
And I still don't know much. They made a lot of those into movies. Then again, you have I think they even have their almost universal horror people.
Right.
They always it's not, and they're not leftovers,
Right.
Some say that the Spanish version of Dracula is better than the American version.
Weren't they filmed at the same time, or in the evenings or something?
They were at night.
I think we talked about this.
Yeah, same sets, same dialogue, same everything, but it was in Spanish.
Right.
Which nobody's ever seen it,
Right.
I left whenever it was playing at the theater. For real. I went and saw Dracula.
You could have saw it.
And I was like, I own it, so.
No.
Doesn't really matter. So, having all of...
Nobody's ever seen it because nobody ever stays for it.
Yeah, everybody's like, well, I've already seen it. But all these masked wrestler movies and stuff were always really huge, and they still are. Like Cantinflas.
Okay.
Cantinflas was the dude that had the mustache, and he was the comedian dude he was all the silent movie stars wrapped into one, But yet he was active for a long time. It was very cool. And then I guess they did movies like this. And the production was pretty good.
The production was decent. Really decent.
They cut a lot of corners.
As you do when you're making a non-licensed Batman woman movie,
I did read that it made $540. I'm not shitting you, dude.
That's awesome.
$540.
How many pesos is that?
Oh my God. It's
especially in 1968.
560. I don't know where I was reading it at, but I read that. That's just weird.
That is weird.
How do you get $540 out of this thing?
They did.
They spent
sure did.
$200 on it. Turn to profit.
They're like, hey, can we borrow your boat? Oh, you're already a scuba diver? Perfect.
Cool.
Get on board.
Hey, you want to take us out? Well, you got a camera, senor. Oh, we're just filming fish. But, okay, so this movie stars... The posters are way better than the actual movie. The posters are bitching.
Yeah, they are pretty cool.
Everything looks really cool. So this one stars Mara Monti. She's Gloria / Batwoman.
And she's not Spanish.
No, she was born in Italy.
Yeah.
July 28th, 1942 in Milan, Lombardy.
Yeah. She looks pretty good for an old woman.
Yeah.
She wasn't old then, I guess, but
when 68, how old would she have been? In 62, she would have been 20.
She would have been 26.
Oh, well, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had that classic 60s kind of look, vibe, body, everything like that, the way she did everything.
So I think that we should explain who Batwoman is.
Okay.
As we're going through these characters, maybe we can explain who their character is.
Okay.
Because this Batwoman's a little bit different. Because not only is she...
little
rich and lives in the capital city and fights crime, but she's also a wrestler, a masked wrestler, a luchador. If you will. Is that the actual
luchador? Yeah.
Is that the definition of it? As a masked wrestler?
No, luchador is just wrestler.
Okay,
I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I was asking. There was a cartoon about it.
You're right. Yeah. Mucha lucha.
Yes, thank you.
On sábado gigante. Y sábado y domingo.
So she's what really confuses me throughout this movie with her is I never really knew if her identity was secret.
Right.
It seems like it is, like when she goes into the place and then all the girls come out and they're like, we don't know who it is, based on that. We know what her car looks like. And then she's got her mask back on.
Right.
But like when she's in the dojo or whatever, like she just opens the thing, flips her mask off, like no big deal. You know what I mean? So
and calls them on like some radio or something.
On the two-way.
Yeah,
it's a transistor.
Well, whenever she wrestles, she's in a full bodysuit. And the only reason why that is because the woman that she's practiced wrestling with probably played her, in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
If you think about it, right?
Sure.
She was complimenting her. And why not put that woman in there while they were doing their flips and shit? You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
So I really think it was her.
I believe that.
I think that was her stunt double. But then when she goes fights crime, she puts on a bikini.
Yeah, because that is the most battle-ready outfit. I can totally understand.
You can get out of a lot of traps with that, I guess.
You know.
She didn't have any gadgets.
No gadgets.
Except for her wit.
No. Yep.
That was it.
Yeah, she's real smart and real rich.
Yeah, right. So,
and she's a master scuba diver.
Well, obviously.
Because there's a lot of that.
There's probably at least 30 minutes of that movie underwater.
And it's just her swimming.
Yes.
And she does get the cool little propeller thing there for a while.
But it looks like it wasn't even moving. She was pushing it.
I feel like all that stuff was like just donated by the local folks. They're like, yeah, you could use my thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, that's a cool tank. We'll make it look James Bondish. I'm like, who's James Bond, eh?
Picture Zorro
underwater,
but modern with gadgets. That's who James Bond is.
That's right. Modern day Zorro. Wow, Agent Z, the new series, the Mexican Treasure.
I love it.
It's like he's like the Lone Ranger and the Green Hornet. They're related.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean? But
go.
it's like Agent Z is related to Zorro.
Oh, I like it.
Distance down the line, but yet he's part of the Mexican Secret Service.
But he's going against the corrupt government. There
we go, Mexico. All you got to do is we'll come up with a movie for you.
Yep. Get out of Univision.
Yeah. OOZ.
Ooh.
Z.
Ooh. I like Agent Z better.
Agent Z. Now Z. Yeah. But okay, back to the movie. Yeah, they do mention that there's only two people that know her real identity.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. I get it. I don't know any of the other dudes. Roberto Cañendo, Hector Godoy, David Silva, Jose the lottery seller.
Well, let's talk about their characters because I don't think we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dr. Eric Williams, he is the mad scientist.
And that's Roberto?
That's Roberto. Mario Robles, I don't know who Hector was.
Yeah, Dr. Williams is a crazy man. Mario Robles was her buddy.
Oh, okay.
Like
that was the only other guy that knew her, huh?
Yeah, and it's weird because there's a point where it feels like the one guy's hitting on her. And like at that point you just think they're partners, but then she kisses him and then like are they more than partners?
Yeah, but they were
as we find out.
Yeah.
Cuz
they were sitting on the beach kind of like and she's like, "Oh, you're so sweet." And he's got those two dudes there.
Yeah.
It's like, And then they go off to go shag.
Bows.
Yeah, they go off to go shag somewhere, and she follows them. But so yeah, Jose the lottery seller. He's basically the grown-up little kid from Treasure of the Sierra Madre. He's like, "Hey, senor, you win. You picked the right numbers." And they're like, "Oh my god, let's go hunt for some treasure."
He's the guy, as we'll find out, is the one that's like getting these wrestlers.
He's the number one, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he says that often. Yes, I believe. Calls him as number one.
I am number one. Okay.
And then the inspector, which is, we meet early.
They're sitting in the office like, what are we going to do?
And that's where he's like, oh, I've got this guy coming in. This agent coming in, and he's bringing a special friend.
The Batwoman. Everybody knows her.
Yeah.
She must be like traveling and wrestling, solving crimes. Like whenever she's in town, there's a crime.
Yeah, it's like Scooby-Doo.
Right.
Like wherever they go, there's a crime.
Well, if the Batwoman showed up, everybody should know that something crazy's going on, right?
You would think, right? But it seems like she goes there a lot because those people like wrestling with her.
The Esmeralda woman, that's Ophelia Chavez. She's that other one. I guarantee you that's got to be her underneath the tights. You know?
Might be.
I really think so. And then they have Manuel Capetillo. He's a Swedish wrestler.
Don't they call him Swedish?
Yeah. He's the Swedish.
Yeah.
I think there was something lost in translation in that. You know?
Swedish. I don't know.
Yeah, I was probably calling him the Swede. You know what I mean? Yeah. Should have been short for it.
Swedes.
Hey, Swedes. Norwegian. Then you got Carlos Suarez, Igor. Why did he have to be Igor, too?
I know, right?
Two
on the nose, if you ask me.
Right. Who's Tony Roca?
Tony Roca. Like who played him?
Yeah, that's
Armando Silvestre.
Armando Silvestre. I can't. I don't have the tongue for it.
Yeah. Aren't you of Spanish descent?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. Somewhere in there.
Okay. I mean, I figured with a last name like Smith.
Oh, come on. It's right there. Like, I don't hide it. Like, where are you from? Well, actually, my ancestors are from Mexico, which I did do a lot of ancestry here lately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Traced one line all the way back to Spain, and they married somebody from France.
Okay.
And then also traced one side all the way back to Prussia.
Prussia?
Yeah, Prussia. Yeah. And God dang. Somebody to Scotland? I don't think so, but maybe. There's a lot. Ancestry, you're like, yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. And then you're like, wow, I went all the way to like Jesus. You know? But you never really know if it's true or not, you know? You got to do a DNA test and shit.
Right.
But
21 and me or whatever we said it was.
Ancestry.com?
Spitting your 21 and up or whatever.
Yeah, let me take a swab of my mouth.
I think it's 23 and me. Is that other company? Yeah.
Oh, is it the one that kind of figures out if you're related to Kevin Bacon?
It's the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
It's actually 23.
Well, no, if you get it in 6 degrees, it's free.
Oh. So everybody is related to Kevin Bacon in 23 moves.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the movie at hand here.
Would have been better if Kevin Bacon was in this movie.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Anyways.
Yeah. So, who was the director on this thing?
On this thing.
Rene Cardona.
What else had he done?
Not much.
Okay.
Probably a hell of a lot. Wow. The dude looks like a Spanish Vincent Price.
Okay.
Yep. He's Cuban. Dang. Yeah, he did
What's
a lot
his
of
name?
Rene Cardona.
Okay.
I'm not saying it right, but he did a lot of masked wrestler movies.
It seems like that's one thing that I found in common with a lot of the actors and like the director, where they had all done a lot of masked wrestling movies.
Well, that was the tits back in the day.
Sure.
God, he was working all the way up into 1982, and he was born in 1906.
Wow.
Dang. Jesus. Oh my God. His IMDb starts in 1925.
What?
And, oh my God. God, he was doing 4 to 8 movies a year. Sweet God. So, okay, yeah, if you're looking at Wikipedia, there is no entry for this one. Somebody needs to start one.
It'll probably be us.
Yeah, we need to start the Batwoman and start looking for props and whatnot, right?
There you go.
Okay, so should we get started?
Sure.
How the movie works?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we open the movie on 2 dudes standing on a cliff.
Yes,
with
fishing
by hand, just with a spool and a couple of hooks.
Yeah,
you know,
as you do when you're stranded on an island.
Well, they're not, right?
No, it's 1968.
Yeah,
I get it.
but then when they close up on them, they're actually in a pond. Did you notice that?
I didn't actually.
Oh my god! When you see them up close, it's like no, they're not. That doesn't even look like the same place. So they see this body in the ocean that's kind of washing up. So they go pick him up, figure out, okay, this dude's dead. They bring him into the where was it? The coroners, right? And the coroners basically like, yo, whoever did this is a master surgeon. Because they just got in and got the pineal gland out.
And that had been like the fourth one?
Yeah. Fourth one that has washed up. And so they kind of go through that explanation on what happened, you know. And the coroner's like, oh, he's a pretty good surgeon, you know. Maybe that's a clue. So then they're sitting in the office together, and he's like, what are we going to do about this? And the other inspector...
They being two inspectors.
Yeah, the two inspectors, yeah. And they're like, I don't know. The same thing has happened in Tokyo and somewhere else.
Yeah, somewhere. Then they're both mentioned later from where this guy had been.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly, yeah. So it's because he'd been traveling. But it's always wrestlers that he attacks, and he always gets the pineal gland, right?
Right, and we'll find out why.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, this is where they introduce where they're going to bring her, right? The Batwoman's...
Yeah, because he says, you know, I've got a special agent, and he's going to be bringing his friend, the Batwoman.
They're like, oh my God, she's going to be here?
Right. And then Mario shows up,
yeah,
and they talk about it.
And then she floats in?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because I thought she was getting captured or something.
Yeah.
Because like I looked
like
down
taking
for
the stuff off of her and like...
I looked
down her by her arms.
I looked up and I was like, what the is she? No. And she's smiling, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I got to say about the Batwoman, she has got to have one of the like, I don't know how you say this. I'm not going to say tightest asses, but like, cause not in the physical form, because she's sitting on leather seats with nothing but a bikini all the time. Her ass has got to be like tough as hell. That's all I was thinking of. I was like, damn, you know she's got to sit on that leather and be like, God damn, this is hot.
And they were in Acapulco.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know the sun was shining all day. Getting into a convertible, it's even hard to do when you got like a full shorts on and stuff. You know what I mean? I can't imagine a woman getting in there with no towel.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like, put the towel down because it's freaking hot.
Right.
You know? So
repurpose that parachute.
Right. Yeah. Come on. They probably did have like some towels put down for her so she could sit on it because she would jump into her T-bird and kind of go. But okay, so the Batwoman gets there. They go meet, and they're like, because they have all the reporters there, and all the reporters are like, oh, if the Batwoman's there, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it must be a really complicated case.
Right.
Yeah.
So they already know that, but they already know that she's going to wrestle.
Well, yeah, and that's the part where they were talking about her infiltrating the wrestling group, you know?
Right.
But they know she's the Batwoman. And she's the Batwoman. I mean, those are connected. Like, people know that, right?
Right.
So,
or do they?
Yeah, that's the ambiguity where I'm like, I don't understand her character as far as like her secret. Is it a secret identity?
Yeah, because she has a secret identity, but she has two Batwoman identities.
Yes.
She got the crime fighter Batwoman.
Yes.
Which is the bikini clad one.
She's got the wrestler Batwoman one, which is like in the full gray.
Yeah. Which isn't, it's like, what is that?
Kind of a rip off of the old gray Batman suit.
Yeah. It looks like, oh my God, Adam West's costume.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because that was 66.
Even her costume has the eyebrows.
Yes,
which, and it has a little bitty ears, so they might have gotten some sort of a Batman mask and
literally like it.
And just like molded it to her.
And now let's make it the cape just shorter.
We'll cut about 3 foot off. So I mean, she goes in there, and that's whenever the wrestlers are they're working out, right? They're at the wrestler place. And those dudes are kind of strong. They have the Olympic bars, and they're like putting their legs up, and they're like holding it, and they're like going back. But the dudes look like 60 years old.
That's the time. I think everybody back in the 60s looked old. You know what I mean? Like,
but these guys were like the baddest of the bad. Yeah, you know. I mean, any
like when you were 30, you look 60 in the 60s. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they had grandkids.
They all look like the dad from Wonder Years.
And that's when the Swede comes up and he's talking to the lottery dude.
Yeah, yeah.
He walks in and he's all blind.
And he's like, talks about getting that fishing boat for him.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I got this boat for you. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to catch a fish this big.
He's a real nice guy.
Yeah, everybody loves him, you know. So
he's like, I'm going to catch it for you. And, you know,
I'm going to get you one too. So then, don't we get introduced to the doctor at that point?
Yes, absolutely.
We go onto the ship, and they have the fish floating in the tub, or
just like a little orange fish, like
it's a goldfish, yeah. But it's a longer goldfish. Yeah, it's weird.
It's a big goldfish.
And and then they put like a toy luchador in there too. And they irradiated, I guess. Yeah. That's what the bubbles were.
Dude, I love the science.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I got this action figure. I got this fish. What happens when I introduce radiation?
Yeah. And pineal gland.
Yes. So were they just like pumping pineal gland into the
fish? And the fish was looking at the toy being like, I want to look like that.
Is that the plan?
I guess.
I had to assume that like maybe there was like some sort of, maybe that was the delivery for the pineal gland stuff was in that little man.
Maybe?
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just spitballing because they don't explain it at all.
Hell no. They don't explain the science behind it. So the doctor actually has an Igor too.
Yeah. His name's Igor.
Yeah, his name is Igor. So he's a mad scientist. We don't know what he's creating yet.
No, but we do know he's a mad scientist because he has an Igor.
And yeah, and he's cuz they go
he's
after
irradiating fish and action figures. It's a perfectly good Stretch Armstrong. What are you doing?
Dude, that Mr. Potato Head was just fine. He doesn't need to be irradiated with goldfish.
Careful, I think they're canceling Mr. Potato Head.
Oh yeah, it's Potato Head.
Yeah.
Hey,
whatever.
You could put ears on a potato head, and it's still going to be a potato head.
A rose is rose is rose.
Yes.
Rose by any other name is still a potato. But anyways, back to this show.
But so then the Swede's out there. Yeah. We don't even know it's him. No. We just see some dude fishing in a boat.
Yeah, that's all we get. And then like 75 guys come out of the water.
They start
clubbing.
Yeah. But it's the worst choreography. It's terrible. So bad. It's so funny.
But like guys just kept coming out of the water though. I was like, damn.
Well, there's the boat that was there that almost pretty much docked next to it after they knocked him out.
Oh, yeah.
They knock him out and they're carrying the dude.
He didn't see that coming.
No. What? There's a whole boat and there's like 50 dudes in the water. And it's like, hey, guys, I'm going to catch a fish this big.
I'll catch one for you and for you and for you.
But so they get the Swedish, right? Yes. That's what they call him, the Swedish. Yeah. And they bring him into the lab. They have him tied down, and then they perform the surgery or whatnot.
They take the pineal gland.
Yeah, is it penal or pineal?
I don't know. I've always called it the pineal gland. I don't care.
Pineal gland.
I don't know. That's probably correct.
So that's where we learn a little bit more. You know.
Yes.
And of course, the Batwoman has already kind of taken off her mask when she went into the locker room.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
After the other wrestler was like, "Oh, it's so cool to train with you." Yeah. He's like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna go in here and take my mask off.
just throw it to the side.
Yeah, just don't come in." Yeah, she left it like 20 foot away, and I thought that same thing. I was like, "What if somebody walks in? What's she gonna do? Put a towel over her head?"
Right.
But she goes
into
a
tradition in my family.
Yeah. So she goes to the locker and she talks to the dude. It's like, have you seen anything? No, I'm watching the docs, right?
Right.
So, of course, he's like eating churros or something. I don't know what the fuck that dude's doing.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything, right?
He's just like hanging out in his car.
Right. And in the hot sun. Yeah. And then, then she doesn't like
7 inches from the midday sun.
Doesn't she leave at that point? Jumps into her
and that's where we've got the other guys we're hanging out outside of there, right? Are we there yet? No, we don't.
Yeah,
have
that was the second time.
Second time, okay.
And so I'm pretty sure, don't they? She starts to infiltrate some things. She just floats up on a boat at one point. It's like, hey, is this Dr. So-and-so's boat? And he's like, yeah. He's like,
because she gets the tip about, her and Mario get the tip about the doctor.
Right.
And that is the funniest scene, because as soon as that scene was happening, all I could think of was Monty Python with the French guys.
Yes.
We do not want to know about the woman.
Yeah, she just
like, no. And she just walks, okay, thanks. She doesn't even argue with him. She doesn't, there's no rebuttal.
Yeah.
Hey, let me on board. No thanks.
He doesn't see people.
Yeah, and then she just turns around. So we can get a 30-minute scuba diving video.
Right. Well, when they're describing her, they're saying she's super rich, and then she's a super athlete, she's a luchador, and she can do anything she wants to, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like 10 minutes of swimming underwater.
Yeah.
I don't know. What?
No.
Was it foreshadowing? Maybe not.
No.
So
is this when we get her, she decides to swim out there?
Yes. So she goes underwater.
She's got the little rocket propeller thing.
Yeah, like the missile.
Yeah.
She stows it.
Yeah, there was actually some common sense there. Like, she stows it up under a ship and,
on the anchor.
On the anchor, yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's where I knew that the movie was at least thought out in some ways.
Sure.
And it kind of works. If you would have, but it's only an hour and 15 minutes. It's not even a full 80 minutes. And so, so she gets up there, she's sneaking around, right? And they have a keyhole. What?
As you do.
Yeah. She's walking around all sleuthy and shit, right? And then she just leans over and there's a keyhole into the doctor's office.
Let me look in there.
Yeah. Oh, I can see everything. And then two goons come down. They hide instead of just be like, hey, stop.
Right.
No, they hide for some reason.
Because it's Batwoman.
Right. And then we get into the first fight, which is horrible.
Yeah.
She's just throwing karate chops. Right? And judo chop, judo chop, judo chop, and they're
she
like,
definitely didn't take the Bruce Wayne route and like travel the world and learn how to fight.
Nah, she watched a couple of Bruce Lee movies
and became a luchador.
Yes. Yeah. So she can grapple.
Yeah.
When she can't really throw
and
a
she
kick.
can karate chop.
Yeah. She didn't
knows
kick
that
her.
move.
Yeah. And she could throw people over.
Yeah.
She did that a couple of
She's
times.
got the toss. Yeah.
Yeah.
The judo toss.
Yeah. When she went up the stairs.
Hip toss, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then she pushed one dude, and the dude was like, oh, like flailed like a Muppet.
She's so much stronger than she looks.
Right.
Yeah.
She dives into the water and to disappear, to go get her scuba tank, and there's just nothing but her cape in the water.
And they just start shooting at it. They're like, yeah, I hate that game.
Let's get her. So they fail at that, right?
Yeah, but she gets away.
She ends up back, and because they have their Acapulco bar time.
Yes.
Where they go download over some nachos and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like a really chill place.
I'm down with it, man. I want to be
Right.
an international crime guy.
Right.
Just Acapulco, really.
So
I want to be Magnum PI in Acapulco. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God. That would be delicious.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I would soak up the sun. Like, I'm eating the sun right now. This feels so goddamn good.
Why are these crimes getting solved? I'm busy.
Where's my Detroit hat? My Tigers hat. So this is where she goes to train for the other time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that girl does the like kickoff to her at the end, and she's like, thanks for teaching me that move. And she's like, only blah, blah, blah. They like suck each other's dick about it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, you're so awesome.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, you're so awesome too.
Everybody's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then then she hops in her car, and that's when the dudes are waiting for her.
So, but before she hops in her car, they have that conversation. Well, because the girls come walking out and they're all in their, like swimwear or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And they're like, we'll never know who she is. And he's like, we know what her car looks like. We'll wait.
But there's 2 carloads of 4 dudes apiece.
Yeah.
There's like 8 dudes watching.
Taking the Batwoman down. I mean.
Kind of strange. Yeah, so she goes back to the hotel, and then she sits in the sand for a little while. They have a little beach blanket bingo. Because they got a record player. That record player was awesome.
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
It was like a portable record player. That was pretty bitchin'.
For 45s?
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that
super
looks
cool.
so cool.
I'm glad you said that because I thought that too. I was like, what?
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, my God.
Is this retro porn?
That looks so cool. I want one. And so, yeah, that's when she kisses the dude, right? And she's still digging in the sand, and they're always flirting with her and shit. Just because she's a woman, you know?
Not just any woman.
Yeah.
She's
the Batwoman.
Come on.
She's like, oh, stop. You know, this is the swinging 60s. We don't do that here in Acapulco. And then the doctor doesn't he do another experiment, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This is where they're irradiating the luchador doll, the action figure, and it actually works.
Yeah, it works and becomes a fish baby.
Yeah. So basically, the fish disappears, but the action figure gets imbued with it or something like that. And then they put it in another clear case. They jump into the water, put it face down in the sand at the bottom of the ocean, right?
Yeah, that's the only way it works. If it's face up, it will not work.
No.
I mean, there's science.
Yeah. And then
negative positrons
right? No. And Igor's like, he keeps telling me, okay, Igor, what you need to do is you need to turn it up. Irradiate them. Yeah. And the scuba divers are, you know, they're like watching it and you see the bubbles go up. Right. Then all of a sudden there's a gill man.
Yep. That's what they were working on the whole time.
He was a freaking cool looking, creature too.
Yeah. A little cheesy, but cool.
He wasn't creature cool, but
but I mean, it was definitely a rip off of that character, of the gill man or whatever.
Him and every other alien of that time.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. I'm not hating on
him.
No. But Red.
Yeah. That was a different kind of a thing right there because it was color, of course. Yeah. You know, so they could show it off, and it was it was really well done on that part of it. And then it attacks them.
Yep.
They get into the fight with that thing. So they even net it, but yet the thing is like so strong.
Right.
They were just doing a test, right? So they grew him like a sea monkey.
Yeah. I wonder if they live that long.
Maybe.
Like 6 days and then they're gone.
So, and then they bring him upstairs, right? They're like, strap him down. So they strap him down, right? And then I think at that point, he breaks the strap, right? And then he starts killing the other dudes, and Igor like hits him with the Vita rays or whatnot. Like, that was the shittiest part about the whole movie is the loud squeal.
Yeah.
You're like, God damn. It's fucking 10 o'clock at night. Everybody's asleep. Turn it down to 3. You know what I mean? God, it's loud. So, I mean, Igor's kind of like on thin ice anyway because he screwed up the first one. And
his name's Igor. Of course he's on thin ice.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course the doctor's like, hey, if this one works, we're going to move on.
Yeah.
We're going to go somewhere else.
Yes.
And
because
get more,
they're after him now and they know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we're going to get pineal glands.
Yes.
What? So, then doesn't the Batwoman come down again after that? Because she's swimming back to the boat. And so Gilman, or Pisces is what his name is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Pisces, which is really cool. Like unoriginal, but like, hey, this is Pisces over here.
Right.
And so they let him out. Igor lets him out, and because he speaks to him through the water. I don't know how that fucking works either. And he's like, kill the Batwoman. So they flush him down the toilet, right?
Out into the ocean.
Yeah, so they flush him into the ocean, right? He goes after the Batwoman, but she's like, whoa, I'm too quick underwater. So here's another 20-minute water scene, right? You know what was weird, too? I was watching that part while I was doing dishes. Which was fun. I was like, I'm there.
You just like spray a little water up in your face.
I'm like, oh man, I got it all on my shirt. Wait a minute. I'm there.
How immersive is this movie?
I created my own theme park ride for the Batwoman. And so yeah, then she like escapes or she's running from him underwater, but then she grabs a submarine flare. And she lights a submarine flare, which is basically like a match in the ocean. It doesn't even look like a fucking flare, right? It's like, and he's like, oh my God. So the gill man freaks out. Right. She puts him into a hole or something like that, then escapes, right? So she's gone.
Right.
Then, of course, I think the gill man comes back up or something like that. She gets away. She's already away. Which was just this. She always escapes, but then goes back to the hotel to freshen up.
As you do,
I guess, right?
When you're a socialite.
Like I said, they're downloading over nachos at the bar. Yeah. Something weird. And then that's whenever the doctor figures out his grand scheme, that he's going to put a tracker or something on her cape, have the number one do it, right? Right. The blind guy, the lottery dude. Have him do it. And so, of course, he's across the street with his glasses off, looking. And he's like, oh, okay, it's time. And he puts them down. And he's like, hey, I got the winning ticket. And he hands
he's fake blind.
Yeah. And he hands the little device to somebody else. Yeah. They ended up putting it on her shirt, right? Cool. So, she gets home. And then that's whenever the dude's like, I'm not leaving you alone. I don't trust this.
Mario?
Yeah. I'm trying to protect you. That's a freaking Batwoman. What does she need protection for? This is why she doesn't, because she's badass, right? So she goes in there. She puts on her nightgown and everything, right? And then she notices on her cape, guess what? There's something on it. So then she pins it to her shirt, clicks off the light, and guess what? They send Gilman after her. So Gilman comes up and she's, I don't get it. She's supposed to be like a badass, but she faints pretty much. She's a damsel in distress at this point.
That's terrible that took that turn, really.
Yeah, right. And so she's passed out. Gilman beats the crap out of the other dude. He's like, he even has those sounds. It's awesome. So they end up taking her back. I think she escapes somehow again. And then the doctor has both of the dudes, right? The inspector and then her boyfriend or
Mario.
whatnot. Yeah, Mario. And he's like, sorry for hanging you gentlemen. But yet their hands are hanging up above them. Right. And of course, Gilman's in another room. God knows why. I don't know why he's not in the toilet again. So she comes on board.
He's like an angsty teenager now. He's like, I want my own room.
No, this is my house. You don't tell me what to do, Mom. Igor, hey you. You're not my real dad.
So again, they capture her somehow, again. She's been captured like 3 times, right? Those dudes are hanging.
Well, she was captured because she fainted.
Well, yeah. And so they're bringing her in, and they got her, and she like struggles a little bit, but actually puts the device onto the doctor. Yeah. Because that's like a homing thing for if that's on anybody, guess what? It's going to kill him.
Goes after it.
Yeah, because if he sends it after it, it's going to kill. So she puts it on the doctor's coat. Oh, we didn't even talk about her spraying acid on the doctor's face.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she did that in the first encounter.
Yeah.
She just threw acid in his face and then ran. Okay, so he's all disfigured now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, he's like the Phantom of the Opera at this point.
Yeah. So he really hates her.
Yeah, he's got to get her.
Yeah, like he put his science to the side to go after her, basically.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to use this fish man to go get you guys.
Come on, Pisces.
What's my horoscope now, Batwoman? So she struggles a little bit, and he's like, you need to calm down. Like, whoa, slow down. And then turns on the, he gets pissed and turns on the device, right? But Gilman goes after him. Right. Busts through the door. And it's a submarine door or whatnot, ship door. and then goes straight after him, starts killing him. He's like, Igor, help me. Igor, help me. And Igor's like, no. I got to go.
I was on thin ice, remember?
Yeah, screw you, boss. So then, for some reason, like the lab starts exploding.
Sure.
It starts going crazy because there's shit that is spilled and stuff like that, right?
Well, the Gill Man was a little messy.
Right. He was just kind of flailing. He doesn't know where he's at. He was in the toilet 20 minutes ago.
He was born yesterday.
Actually, he was. He was an action figure.
Yes.
With no brain. Now he's got a fish brain. What?
And he's large.
So he just forgets where he's at, like a goldfish.
Yeah. Every 3 seconds or so.
He's like, mad. Why am I mad? I'm mad.
Been mad my whole life. That's all I can remember is mad.
I'm just so mad.
I hate that beacon.
Well, why do I hate it? Oh, I'm mad. So he's he basically kills the doctor.
Right.
And then they escape. They get on a dinghy.
Yeah.
And they're floating away, and the whole thing just like
explodes. So it takes out Gillman too.
Gets everybody.
Or does it?
Right? I smell a part too. So basically, they end up back at the club. They got another plate of nachos, and they got a couple of margarita or beer-ritas or whatnot, where they put the Corona inside the margarita, you know what I mean? And it just kind of like dumps out, so you have an everlasting glass of alcohol. Weird. And that's for the true drunks. And so they're standing there, and they both ask her, they're like, so how did you know that the Gill Man would go after the doctor? She's like, well, he planted something on me before, and I just planted it on him. They're like, how did you know that would work? She's like, well, we're standing here, aren't we? And then that's the end.
That's the end.
Yeah.
And now what you're going to get, 52 years in the making. Batwoman 2.
Yeah. Electric Boogaloo.
The return of the Gill Man. This time it's personal.
He's been procreating all these years underwater.
The revenge.
Yeah. He met a female lagoon monster.
See, what happens, Brock, is when a male lagoon monster and a female lagoon monster love each other.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They make action figures.
Exactly. So when they have babies, they either have action figures or fish.
It's either one.
Yeah, you don't know.
Sometimes they have a mix of both.
Well, that's, if you get the radiated womb, yeah.
Yeah. It's like all the cartoons where they have like a chicken mating with a dog.
Yeah.
And it's like half chicken, half dog.
Some of them are have dog head on chicken body. Some have chicken head on dog body. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Kids will love it. So, yeah. I made it through it. And I'm pretty glad that I did, because I really think that we should write the Wikipedia for this.
I think so as well. And obviously it really fits in the drop culture theme.
Man, that would be awesome.
I will tell you this. What I found out watching this movie is if you fall asleep watching a Mexican Batwoman movie, you'll wake up several times in the night watching the craziest Mexican shows you've ever seen in your life. You're like, I don't even know what's going on, but I can't reach the remote. It's way over there. I'm really tired.
I'm not going to get up unless I have to pee.
And then you go back to sleep and you wake up again a little bit later, and it's like in some other wacky movie, and like just strange films down the YouTube rabbit hole. And so it was an awkward night last night. That's all I'm saying.
That was a very, very strange movie.
It was a strange movie.
I think that the cinematography was top notch.
Sure.
The dialogue was right on. The acting.
I'll be honest. I can't.
4 out of 2.
It's hard for me to judge dialogue because I can't. In
a foreign language
and a lot of
film.
times in foreign movies, I can at least get the emotion, but the Batwoman wasn't really wrought with emotion.
Well,
you know what I mean? It wasn't that kind of a movie. And you got to remember, like we said earlier, this came out a couple years after the Batman TV show.
Yeah,
you know? So, I mean, it's still in that campy.
They were Batman 66, right?
Right.
And then
this was 68.
68, so 2 years after. I mean, she wasn't really a Batwoman. Batwoman had been around.
Yeah, since 58.
Something like that. Yeah,
that was Kane.
Yeah. She'd
Catherine
been there.
Kane, right?
I think,
Kane?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah.
And then this one just popped up, which is...
Again, I think, like you said, unlicensed, I'm sure, which is why there's probably no Wikipedia page for it.
Yeah. Well, I think, what's cool is they made the movie for the posters. Because, I mean, damn, the posters are awesome.
They are good.
I think most of those luchador stuff posters are just some of the coolest looking things that you'll ever see. Yeah, the main one.
Yeah.
Really cool. And it's very, very well done. Painted. It's kind of like most of the Western ones, like the ones that they were doing, Sergio Leone stuff all the spaghetti stuff.
All the Italian. Yeah.
And all the Django movies and everything, all painted, bright colors. It drew you to the theater.
Absolutely.
This was no exception,
except obviously it was because they only made $542 or something, you said?
$540.
I gave him $2 more, my bad.
God. Where did I read that at? But I know I read it.
Did it make $540 or was that what it made at the box office?
Box office.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh. Yeah, I know, right? Ooh. That was pretty bad. Where did I read that? I know.
Well, I believe you. That's crazy though.
Well, all I got to say is watch this movie. Enjoy it. See Igor and see the Batwoman, which she's an Italian Mexican.
So I'll tell you this. If I'm ranking my DC movies, my Bat movies, this is still better than Batman and Robin.
Oh my God, you're right. You are totally right.
Yeah.
I think I've been kissed by the rose on the grave of this Batman. It's like the Doctor Strange movie. That was made for TV. It was made to be a series.
Sure.
This one, was a one-off, and they were like, hey, just use the Batwoman. Who's going to come down to Mexico that knows this stuff?
Right.
There's like one dude.
We're only going to make $540.
Yeah, come on. We're not planning to turn a profit on this one, guys.
I wonder, because I think that a lot of times, and again, I don't know enough about the Mexican film industry. I don't.
Yeah.
But I know, like with a lot of B movies, like a lot of times they're making those movies quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they're doing multiple at a time, and they're just hoping one hits.
Yep. Well, these are like this was like a Plan 9.
Yeah.
Type of a deal, like an Ed Wood movie,
Sure.
And I think the director was, as much as he did, probably were making a lot of movies like that.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
So it's just action here and there.
Quantity, not quality.
Oh, big time, man. I did think it was done in a good manner. I mean, it wasn't trying to be anything, but it didn't need to be. It wasn't trying to be like a blockbuster.
No, not at all. And I suppose for the time, like I don't really remember a lot of the superhero stuff where the science was ever very good. Maybe not action figure fish bad, but I mean that was the worst part where I was like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, why is there an action figure?
Why is he ruining Stretch Armstrongs? It wasn't really a Stretch Armstrong, by the way, but
this is the weirdest thing in the world.
But yeah, I would say overall worth a watch.
Yeah.
And I would like to hear from other people who maybe have actually seen this, or if you haven't and this is the first time and you go watch it, your opinion.
Right.
It'd be super cool.
I would actually like to have a conversation with somebody else too, like we did, about the Batwoman. Why not?
Yeah.
I think this is a piece of drop culture that needs to be.
And if you are like privy to the Mexican film industry and you know more, that would be super cool because there's not a lot of detail available on this movie.
No, not at all.
No,
not at all.
But for those of you that do want to watch it, is free on YouTube.
Yes.
So that's super cool.
If you email us or whatnot, we'll send you a link to it.
Yeah,
we can put a link in the description.
I'll put a link in the description.
And this is to the full movie, so it's like movie night for you.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. And when you wake up, you'll be watching another one.
A whole different.
Yeah, like a whole awesome one.
Yeah.
But I mean, dang, they really did make the movie for the posters. Because I've already seen like 5 of them that are bitching. You know, like that's my shit right there.
Yeah.
I think they're awesome looking. And
Maybe we'll get one for the studio.
Oh my God, I want one.
That'd be super cool.
Maybe I can make one.
Ooh. Well, I mean, technically, like, if they stole the Batwoman identity and you altered their poster, I don't think you can get in trouble.
I don't think so. I'd be like, well, wait till I call DC. Like, oh, please, man. Okay. Like, yeah, that's right. Wait till our fans hear it. So, overall, cool movie. Gotta watch it if you can. And if you can read, you're good. You know, if you're not 3 years old and still haven't picked up a book.
And if you're 3 years old and listen to this podcast, I apologize for our mouths.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a son of a bitch. So, yeah.
I'd say with that, yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think. Like I said, if you know any more about it than we do, we'd love for you to share that information with us. Let us know. How can they do that, Brock?
Well, they can hit us up on Gmail at dropculturepodcast@gmail.com. They can hit us up on our website at dropculture.com. Mm-hmm. They can also hit us up through our private phone number. No, we don't got one. But we got
Coming
Facebook.
Soon, though, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Facebook. Yeah, we're working out the MCI rights for that one.
Yeah, that makes sense, really.
Facebook.
1-800-COLLECT.
Yeah. Twitter. That's one of our new sponsors too, 1-800-COLLECT. And what is the other one? Instagram.
Yeah.
We're
the world's
there.
most efficient drug dealer. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we're there, but we're not really, I'm not present anymore. But I check it every once in a while. So, you know, drop a line. And some crematisms.
What words?
Crematisms. But yeah, hit us up on any of those and kind of give us some insight. And if you have some props or anything from that movie,
let us know.
Please, because I would like to put together the Batwoman suit from Mexico.
Oh.
I think it would be pretty freaking cool
to
be the owners of that. Are you kidding? That would be so badass. You know, a movie like this, so obscure, but just to have a piece of it. Okay. Well, think on that. And go ahead and see you later.
Yeah.
The creation of a fish woman, and I don't need to tell you who we will use. The Batwoman.